Hey guys, thanks for joining me. You're looking at the Zenith 5S29 back from the mid-1930s, and it's time to go ahead and get some toner lacquers placed on here, and I thought I would bring you guys along for the ride. You can see I did some more work on the top. Wasn't satisfied with that. I had glued down a few places, but wanted to see if I could flatten out some of the old water damage just a little bit better. So hopefully the toners here and the one I'm going to use here for the top, and maybe a blend of extra dark blended in with it, is perfect brown. And again, you can see M101 represents a pigment based toner. So I've already been shaking this can for well over a minute, but let me give it another shake here and then just test the spray here on a board to understand the spray. The wind's at my back. There's just a slight breeze, so hopefully all the overspray and stuff will go out to my left here. So we'll get started here in just a moment. Okay, I've got a test board here, and hopefully this will show up on camera. So there's the color, and again, just looking at my other cabinet for the Zenith 5S29, the color is very close to this, or maybe just a little bit darker. So again, I may put a couple shots of some of the extra dark wanted in here as well, but I'll start out here with the perfect brown and see how close of a match I can get. This toner lacquer dries pretty quick, so I'm not really worried about any overspray. And I'm going to spray just a little closer than 12 inches, just because I've got just a little bit of wind blowing here. And you see those areas I'm trying to cover up here. I'll use grain filler after putting the toners on. I'm going to use a water-based. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and pull it over here to some sunlight. Again, you can see I am spraying here in shade. Never really want to spray lacquer in direct sunlight. So let me move this over to the sunlight just for a moment so I can just take a look at it, and then we'll get started here on the bottom section. Just looking at the top section, looks like I am going to need to mix just a little bit of the extra dark wanted in to get the desired color, but time will tell. Okay, let me check this out and I'll be right back. Okay, I checked my lower section down here. I think I'm good on the first few coats. Let's go ahead and start going back over the top here. You can see the wind is starting to swirl, so I'm going to bring the can just a little bit closer. If I happen to overspray and get too much and get a run, I'll just sand it out. Alright, let me check this out real close here in the sun. Okay, for sure I need to blend just a little bit of the extra dark walnut in. And there's the spray pattern here. So again, I'll probably just blend these two lacquer toners together to get the desired tone. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and again take it over here in more direct sunlight. You can see I've got just a little bit of sunlight here on this edge, so let me just check things out real quick. Give the can one more shake here, and starting to look really good here. So see I'm going with the grain here. Alright, let me go take another look at it here and see if I need to blend again some of the brown toner in with this. Okay, I'm going to go back with the perfect brown now and just mist some coats in. Create this contrast. Alright, let me take that to the sunlight and look at it. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I went back over the bottom as well with a little extra dark walnut and created a blending. Looking at the original finish of the radio, or my carbon copy of this, it's not as dark at the bottom as it is at the top. So again, I'm going to put a few more misty coats here of some of the perfect brown on. See the wind's really getting up, but really won't create any issues here for spraying the toner lacquers. Overspray is not really an issue. Okay, I think I've got it the way I want it. Again, it's more like a chocolate brown on the top and the bottom, and just a touch lighter. I had to pick up the cabinet here and just do a few things off camera to get underneath here that edge. So let me get the tape off here and we'll take a look at what we've got. You'll be able to see the big contrast. Again, I know we're in the dark or in the shade here, so lighting's poor, but let me unmask it here and I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully this is showing up in the shade here somewhat, but you can see the big contrast and difference now between the toner lacquer here again at the base and again at the top. And the way this cabinet finishes out, again, I went with the red chestnut stain, and so it's on as a base coat. It's got a little bit of a reddish tint to it, and I did a little bit of light sanding, so some of that stain did fade just a bit, but I don't think that's going to create any issues. But there'll be a sunburst effect down this area, down this area, down the center to here, and around the top. So I'm going to start out with a real light walnut stain, and then maybe increase that if I need to, but again it will be dye based because I want to be able to show off this beautiful green that we have. So let me get the other cans ready, and again we'll do some test spray here to start out looking at the light Walnut first, and then we'll darken it up if we need to. And you can see I'm using a light walnut with just a little bit of a maple look, and I think that's going to be the right color. It's just got just a little bit of a red tint to it, so I'm not sure if that's showing up well there or not, but anyway, I'm going to give it some light spray and we'll see what happens here. Let this wind die down just a bit, but again, this is a dye base, so it should let this grain pop. I'm not worried about the overspray on the top or bottom. We'll go back and clean that up here in just a bit because I've got to create that sunburst effect as well. Okay, cross your fingers here. I'm going to do the side over here first. You can see I'm trying to do real even strokes here. I'm going to go back and just fill this in again. I don't want to get this too dark. This can's got a really good spray, so I'm able to stay back a good 12 to 15 inches. Okay, back up here, make sure I don't lose it here. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and take it over in some sunlight here and check things out. Okay, very pleased here. Let me try to go diagonally here and just kind of create a better even coat of toner. And again, I'm going to just do real misty coats here. And then I'm going to stay back a little further here. You can see I'm back probably about 16 to 18 inches. Got some wind here to deal with for a minute. trying to use the wind to my advantage here. Alright, let me take it over now, and again the direct sunlight just for a moment here and check it out. Probably not showing up on camera here very well with the lighting, but you can see I've got just a little bit of the sun here poking through on this side, so you can again see some of the grain pop here. The tricky part now, again, I've got to create the sunburst again. This center needs to be dark down to here, and then there's just a little bit of a bleed off here on these sides, and then the same thing down this area right here. So I'm going to do this off camera. Again, I think I'm going to a mix. Now I don't know if I really want to go for the extra dark or just go with the brown, but you know, trying to aim the can at the right distance, because I don't want it too narrow and I don't want it too wide. So I'm going to experiment here on a couple different pieces of wood with the toners, and then I'll come back here with an update. Okay, there you have it, folks. I'll try to stay out of the sunlight. I'll let the toners dry for a bit. And again, I don't want to go any darker than this, but you can see how I tried to create somewhat of a sunburst effect down these front pieces and a little bit on the side. And again, this I think is almost a carbon copy of my other Zenith 5S29. Let me pull it around here and let's look at the sides. I think there's just a little unevenness here, but again, I think that's just the grain itself in the wood, and the burl really pops nicely, and you can see the little bit of sunburst here I was able to create. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, this side really pops well also. So really pleased. So there you have it, folks. Again, that's the toner lacquers applied there to mirror my copy of my twin Zenith 5S29 from the mid-1930s. I'll let this toner dry overnight, then tomorrow again I'll go ahead and apply some of the grain filler. Again, I'll be using a water-based product, and we'll kind of fill the grain, and then we'll be ready for some clear coat here very, very soon. Thanks again for watching.